The Matrix changed my life, and then over these years, it's changed so many other people's lives in really positive and great ways. And so, as an artist, you hope for that when you get to do a film or tell a story.
The Matrix isn't just another sci-fi blockbuster, it holds a secret few ever noticed. In a recent interview, Keanu Reeves revealed something deeply personal about the film and how it changed not just his life, but the lives of those around him. What he revealed has fans questioning everything: our daily routines, our so-called freedom, and whether we've been trapped this whole time without even knowing it. Why did he wait so long to share this? What hidden truth about the Matrix?
Carrie-Anne Moss reuniting this week with Keanu Reeves for their iconic roles as Neo and Trinity, saving humanity from a mind-controlled alternate universe. In the fourth installment of the game-changing sci-fi franchise, The Matrix
is only now coming to light. Join us as we uncover the powerful revelation Keanu just made about The Matrix. The forbidden truth. For 25 years, Keanu Reeves kept a secret about The Matrix. The movie wasn't just about robots and cool fights, it was trying to tell us something much deeper. In 2024, during a special TV interview with Stephen Colbert celebrating the 25th anniversary of The Matrix, something changed. Keanu wasn't just smiling and telling funny stories about making the movie. When asked what the film meant to him after all these years, his face got serious. He said softly that it changed his life, and after a small pause, added that he thought it changed how people see the world. The audience got quiet. There was something different about how he said it. He didn't sound like an actor talking about an old movie. He sounded like someone who had been waiting a long time to say something important. What happened next surprised many fans. After that TV show, Keanu reportedly spoke more openly with people he trusted. He finally shared what he had kept hidden for 2 decades about The Matrix. According to these reports, Keanu explained that The Matrix was never really about robots or the future. It was about right now, about how people are already trapped in systems they don't even notice. He reportedly said that there were scenes in the early script that were cut out. These scenes showed that even the real world in the movie was still part of the illusion. It was just another layer of The Matrix. But the movie studio didn't want those ideas in the film. They thought it was too confusing and too risky. They wanted a simpler story they could sell, with a hero, a love story, and a clear bad guy. They didn't want a movie that might make people look at their own lives and wonder if they were truly free. Keanu wasn't angry when he shared this. He just seemed tired, like someone who had carried a weight for too long. Over the years, fans had noticed things that didn't quite add up in the movies, ideas that were started but never finished, and hints about deeper meanings that were never explained. Now Keanu's words made sense of those missing pieces. The story of Neo wasn't supposed to be about saving people from machines. It was supposed to be a warning about our own lives, our daily routines, our screens, and how we live in carefully controlled realities without realizing it. For many viewers, The Matrix has always felt like more than just an action movie. Since its release in 1999, philosophers and professors have written about what the movie truly means.
Over 20 years ago, when The Matrix first hit movie screens and really redefined what action movies could do. Now, it felt like the series ended around 2003.
The film's famous red pill scene, where Neo chooses to see the truth rather than live in a comfortable lie, is indeed a powerful symbol in our culture. The Wachowskis, who created and directed The Matrix, have always been known for their deep thinking. They were inspired by philosophers like Jean Baudrillard, whose book Simulacra and Simulation actually appears in the movie. These thinkers wrote about how people live in simulations of reality instead of reality itself. Keanu's role as Neo connected with him on a personal level. During the time he was filming The Matrix, he was dealing with his own painful experiences. This gave his performance the genuine quality of someone who feels lost and is searching for truth. What makes Keanu's reported revelations so powerful is how they connect to our world today. In 1999, smartphones didn't exist. Social media wasn't part of daily life. The internet was still new for most people. Yet, The Matrix seemed to predict a world where people would be constantly plugged in, living through screens, surrounded by distractions. Now, 25 years later, that vision feels more real than ever. Perhaps that's why Keanu finally felt it was time to share the full truth about what The Matrix was trying to tell us all along. Keanu's truth about The Matrix shocked fans, but was it this same courage that nearly ended his career? Keanu goes to movie jail. Sometimes saying no to a lot of money takes real bravery. Back in 1996, after the huge success of the action movie Speed, Keanu Reeves faced a big decision. The movie studio wanted him to make Speed 2 and offered him millions of dollars. Most actors would have jumped at the chance, but Keanu wasn't like most actors. He read the script and didn't feel good about it. Instead of chasing money, he followed his heart. He turned down the role and chose to play Hamlet in a small theater in Canada. Hamlet is one of the hardest roles for any actor. It was written by Shakespeare hundreds of years ago.
He's writing, and we know that he's acting.
By 1597, Shakespeare had authored 15 of the 37 plays attributed to him,
And asks deep questions about life and death. By choosing this challenging role over Speed 2, Keanu showed what really mattered to him, becoming a better actor, not just a richer one. The movie studio, 20th Century Fox, didn't take his decision well. They were counting on Keanu to help make Speed 2 a hit. When he said no, they were upset. Hollywood can be a tough place, and powerful studios don't like being turned down. What happened next was something Keanu later called movie jail. It wasn't a real jail with bars and cells, but in Hollywood, it meant something serious. The big movie studios stopped calling. Good roles became hard to find. For almost 15 years, Keanu was left out of many big projects. During his time in movie jail, Keanu didn't give up. He kept looking for meaningful work. He joined a band called Dogstar, where he played bass guitar. The band wasn't hugely successful, but it gave Keanu a way to express himself outside of acting. He also took roles in smaller movies that told interesting stories. In 1997, he appeared in The Last Time I Committed Suicide, a film about a famous writer from the Beat generation named Neil Cassidy. While working on these smaller projects, Keanu learned new skills and grew as an artist. One of the movies he made during this time was The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, a very respected actor. Keanu believed so much in this project that he gave up part of his pay so they could afford to hire Pacino. Meanwhile, Speed 2 went ahead without him. The movie studio hired actor Jason Patric to replace Keanu. When the film came out in 1997, it was a huge disappointment. Critics didn't like it, audiences stayed away, and it lost a lot of money. Keanu's instincts had been right all along. Still, being right didn't get him out of movie jail right away. He kept working on different projects, but fame and big success seemed far away. Then in 1999, a strange sci-fi movie called The Matrix.
Tonight, San Francisco went green to honor the premiere of the anticipated Matrix Resurrections movie.
Changed everything. Keanu played Neo, a computer programmer who discovers the world isn't real. The movie became a massive hit and started a whole series. It's interesting that The Matrix almost didn't happen with Keanu. Several other actors, including Will Smith, were offered the role of Neo first, but turned it down. If Keanu hadn't been in movie jail and busy with bigger projects, he might never have become Neo. His career had ups and downs after The Matrix. Some movies he made, like Man of Tai Chi and 47 Ronin, didn't do well. But in 2014, Keanu found another perfect role as John Wick, a retired hitman seeking revenge. This movie started a very successful series that is still going strong today. Looking back, that stretch when Hollywood sidelined Keanu ended up shaping him in powerful ways. While other stars were chasing big paychecks and constant spotlight, he took a different path, one that focused on craft, not fame. He figured out that sometimes saying no takes more guts than saying yes. These days, a lot of younger actors see Keanu as more than just a successful name. They admire the way he stuck to his values, even when it cost him. His journey is proof that doing the right thing isn't always easy or popular. But in the long run, it can lead to something far more meaningful. While Keanu fought Hollywood's power players, a hidden battle was raging in his personal life. Could anyone truly see his pain? Behind Neo's pain. In 1999, when audiences first watched Keanu Reeves dodge bullets in slow motion as Neo in The Matrix, few knew the real-life heartache he carried onto the set each day. Behind the dark sunglasses and leather coat was a man going through one of the hardest times of his life. That same year, Keanu experienced a loss that would change him forever. He and his girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, were expecting a baby girl. They had already named her Ava, but in the 8th month of pregnancy, their daughter was stillborn. The pain of losing their child put a strain on their relationship, and Keanu and Jennifer separated soon after. The tragedy didn't end there. Less than 2 years later, in April 2001, Jennifer died in a car accident.
It's been 23 years since the tragic death of Jennifer Syme, Keanu Reeves' girlfriend. Syme and Reeves, on April 1st, 2001, Syme drove into 3 parked cars on her way home from Marilyn Manson's house party. The collision was fatal, killing her instantly.
In a very short time, Keanu lost both the family he was building and someone he deeply cared about. Yet through all this pain, he kept working and never made his suffering public. When Keanu showed up on The Matrix set, he didn't talk about his grief. He didn't ask for special treatment. He simply did his job, pouring his emotions into the character of Neo. People who worked with him described him as focused, but quiet. He was kind to everyone but seemed to keep a part of himself hidden away. This hidden pain gave something special to his performance as Neo. In the movie, Neo feels lost and disconnected from the world around him. He knows something isn't right, but he can't explain what. These feelings weren't just acting for Keanu. They matched what he was going through in real life. One of the most powerful ideas in The Matrix is about feeling trapped in a world that doesn't make sense. For Neo, learning that reality is fake helps him understand his feelings of not belonging. For Keanu, acting became a way to work through feelings that had no easy answers. There are moments in the film where Neo shows a deep sadness that feels very real. When Neo talks about feeling like he's been living in a dream, not knowing what's real, those words have extra meaning coming from Keanu. He knew what it felt like when life suddenly stopped making sense. Unlike many famous actors, Keanu never used his tragedies to get attention or praise for his work. He didn't give tearful interviews or share details about his losses. This private approach to grief shows the kind of person he is, someone who doesn't want pity or special treatment. Film experts now look at Keanu's performance in The Matrix with a new understanding. What some critics once called wooden acting, others now see as the perfect emotional tone for Neo. The character's quiet confusion, his search for meaning, and his determination all mirror Keanu's journey through grief. When filming the sequels, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, Keanu lived with his losses for several years. These films explore deeper ideas about purpose and sacrifice. In them, Neo becomes someone willing to give everything for what he believes in and for the people he loves. This growth from confusion to purpose might reflect Keanu's path through grief. Many years later in 2021, Keanu returned to the role of Neo in The Matrix Resurrections. Interestingly, the director Lana Wachowski said she was inspired to bring back Neo and Trinity after experiencing her losses. She had recently lost both her parents and a close friend. Creating this new chapter in the story became her way of dealing with grief. For Keanu, returning to Neo after all these years wasn't just about continuing a famous role. It was about coming full circle, revisiting a character that had helped him through his darkest times. In the new film, Neo and Trinity find each other again after being separated, showing that love can survive even the most impossible situations. Throughout his career, Keanu has found ways to honor his losses through his work without making his grief the center of attention. He established a cancer foundation but didn't name it after himself.
We want to give special thanks to our scientific partner, the American Association for Cancer Research, the world's leading organization in the field.
He's known for his kindness to strangers and his support of various children's hospitals, often giving without taking credit. Keanu's performance in The Matrix is what made Neo feel so real to millions of fans. The real human experience behind the role, a heart that knew loss but kept going anyway. As the cameras stopped rolling, Keanu's real life quietly took center stage. But what drives the man outside Hollywood's spotlight? Beyond the screen. When Keanu Reeves steps away from film sets, his life unfolds in ways few people ever hear about. Long before headlines called him the nicest guy in Hollywood, Keanu was quietly building a world outside the spotlight, one filled with music, creativity, and kindness. He has never chased fame. Instead, he's chosen the road that feels honest to who he is. In the early 1990s, while his acting career was on the rise, Keanu began performing with a rock band called Dog Star. He played bass guitar, standing toward the back of the stage, just like he prefers in real life. Dog Star wasn't a Hollywood stunt or a side gig for attention. It started when Keanu met drummer Robert Mailhouse in a grocery store. They bonded over music, formed a band, and started playing small shows. They didn't care about the charts. They just loved making music. The band even opened for major acts like Bon Jovi and David Bowie, proving that it was more than a hobby. After a long break, Dog Star reunited in 2020, releasing new music and touring again not to cash in on nostalgia, but because the music still mattered to them. That same creative spirit led Keanu down another unexpected path: comic books. In 2021, he co-created BRZRKR, a graphic novel series published by Boom Studios. The story follows a half-god, half-human warrior cursed with immortality and violence. While it's fictional, fans noticed themes that echoed Keanu's own inner struggles: loss, pain, and search for meaning. The first issue sold over 600,000 copies, making it one of the biggest comic book launches in recent years. A film and an animated series are now being developed, with Keanu involved in both. But behind all these projects is something deeper, a quiet way of moving through the world. Keanu has often kept his acts of generosity private, though some stories have surfaced over time. He once gave away millions from his earnings on The Matrix to the film's crew, especially those in visual effects and costume design. He's bought Harley-Davidson motorcycles for stunt performers. On film sets, he's known for chatting with the staff, sharing meals with crew members, and treating everyone with the same level of respect, whether they're an executive or someone sweeping the floor. Outside of work, Keanu rarely appears at big celebrity events. Instead, he's often seen riding the subway or sitting alone in a park with a sandwich. When fans approach him, he listens more than he talks. He once spent hours helping a stranded flight group by arranging transportation after their plane was delayed. No cameras were around, just bystanders surprised by how down-to-earth he seemed. Even in interviews, He often steers the focus away from himself. He talks about books he's reading, music he loves, and friends he admires. Fame, to him, has never been a prize. It's just something that came along with his job. In recent years, Keanu also co-founded a motorcycle company, Arch Motorcycle, which builds custom high-end bikes. He is deeply involved in the design and engineering process. This project was about his love for craftsmanship, speed, and machines that are built with care. Keanu's approach to life is simple: do good work, treat people well, and stay curious. While other stars share every detail of their lives online, Keanu rarely uses social media. He prefers privacy, not because he's hiding something, but because he values quiet moments and real connections. His life off-screen tells its own story, one of steady rhythms, unexpected creativity, and quiet generosity. For Keanu, being real has always been more powerful than being seen. Even with music, comics, and quiet kindness, Keanu wasn't done yet. What pulled him back into action with fresh meaning? The reluctant icon. Keanu Reeves never planned to become a symbol, but over the years, his film choices, especially in The Matrix and John Wick, have made him one. He doesn't chase the spotlight or seek loud attention. Still, when he steps into the frame, people pay attention, and not just for the action. After the Matrix trilogy ended in the early 2000s, Keanu took a step back from major blockbuster roles. He worked on smaller films like A Scanner Darkly and Street Kings, and spent more time on personal projects. Hollywood, however, had started to change. Younger stars were rising. Keanu's name wasn't always part of big casting talks anymore. Some even thought he was fading from the scene. But Keanu wasn't gone. He was waiting for the right story. In 2014, John Wick was released. It wasn't expected to be a hit. The movie was made with a smaller budget and directed by two first-time filmmakers who had worked as stunt coordinators, but it surprised everyone. The film follows a retired hitman who returns to violence after losing his dog, a gift from his late wife. On the surface, it looked like a revenge movie. But the story carried something else: grief, love, memory, and a man trying to hold on to the last piece of peace he had. That emotional layer connected with audiences, and Keanu's performance stood out. It wasn't loud or flashy. He barely spoke, but his silence said a lot. There was pain in his eyes, tiredness in his body, and focus in every movement. The fight scenes were a rhythm, showing how much this character had lived through. The success of John Wick wasn't random. It tied back to the kinds of stories Keanu had always looked for. In The Matrix, his character, Neo, questions the world around him and searches for truth. That idea of looking beyond what's given and asking deeper questions had always appealed to Keanu. He liked roles where characters weren't just reacting but thinking, feeling, and growing. With John Wick, that return to meaning came with a new twist. The movie didn't use big speeches. It used motion. Keanu trained hard for months, learning gun techniques, martial arts, and stunt driving. He worked closely with the stunt team, often doing the scenes himself. The filmmakers used long takes and wide shots so viewers could see everything he did in real time. As more John Wick films came out, the world expanded. Viewers learned about a hidden world of rules, codes, and old traditions among killers. Even in all the violence, the series had its logic, something close to myth. The character of John Wick became a symbol, a man trying to escape his past but pulled back in by systems he couldn't control. That idea of trying to walk away from a world that keeps dragging you back is something Keanu's earlier characters also wrestled with. The role also brought new energy to Keanu's career. Suddenly, he was back in the spotlight. But he didn't use this moment to grab fame. He focused on the work. He kept acting in John Wick sequels and joined other projects like Toy Story 4 and Cyberpunk 2077, always blending into different worlds with care. The themes in John Wick, grief, love, and duty, match the parts of Keanu that fans had come to respect. Even though he's played superhuman roles, he never comes across as untouchable. He plays characters who've been through hard times, who've lost people, and who keep moving forward, not because they want to, but because they need to. In a time when most action movies rely on big effects and noise, the John Wick series brought something tighter and more personal. It showed how powerful stillness, control, and discipline can be on screen. Keanu's choices as an actor helped shape that, and behind it all was the same focus that had guided him for decades, a search for meaning, even in a world full of chaos. Keanu Reeves didn't plan a comeback. He followed a story that felt honest. In doing so, he gave the world a new kind of action hero, one shaped by silence, struggle, and thought. His artistic resurrection wasn't loud. It was steady, grounded, and lasting. Was The Matrix really a warning we all missed? And what else has Keanu been trying to tell us all along? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.